Hi everyone and welcome to today's video. Today I want to do like a quick sort of musings, overview, review kind of video about this pen. This is the Mazzuoli Officina. It's also known as the Casetta. It's a ballpoint pen. Well, in this version it's a ballpoint pen. And it's a small pocket pen made from aluminium, handmade, made in Italy, designed in Italy, actually in the Chianti region of Tuscany. And it is made by Giuliano Mazzuoli, who is a pen designer and watchmaker. And he made this pen, as well as a few others, that are kind of interesting. So why is this interesting? Well, for me, I actually took this on tour with me as a backup pen. And in the end, I ended up using this quite a lot. The ballpoint refill in this is a Parker style refill, and I actually put a Faber-Castell refill in here because I actually really like how it writes, and it was handy because it always writes, and it writes pretty well, and because of the size of it, it's actually a very comfortable pen to use. Now, the caveat to that is that step down is kind of awful, and it's in a really awkward place. If you hold above it, you're very close. If you hold on it, you're about the right distance away. And then if you hold behind it, you feel like you're a little further away. But as a fountain pen user, and I'm going to pull up the Esterbrook SD here, just because it's what I've got on hand, is that if you look at where the nib point or the ball point touches the paper, the section there is right on that mark. So if you hold a fountain pen a little further back, like with your fingers on the threads of a pen like that, then if you hold it back behind the threads on the Mazzuoli, you actually end up in a really comfortable place. These pens aren't the easiest to come by. There are a few retailers who stock Mazzuoli, and you can get a few sort of second hand and things like that. There are a range of different finishes of this particular pen. Like I have another one here, the little silver one. It's got different patterns on the body and all of that. This is my favorite of the two I have. And these were given to me as part of a bundle of things, and it's just something that I've really enjoyed. But what's really interesting is that this pen can be adapted into either like a mechanical pencil, and is also available as a fountain pen when you can get it and where you can get it. I used it because, as I said, it was handy. It's a handy size. Like, that's not a big pen, but when it is posted, you actually end up with something that's insanely comfortable to use, and the weight of it's really nice. Like, there's a lot of more weight down in the end here than in the top, and because of that universality of the refill size being that Parker refill, and a bunch of people make them. As I said, I've got a Faber-Castell in here at the moment, but the Fisher Space pen refill will fit it. There are Monteverde ones that will fit it. A lot of brands Schmidt make a couple of really, really great ones. They will fit in this pen, so it gives you some universality. Also, it means that you're not wasting as much. These kind of refillable pens are important because you just replace the refill and you don't end up throwing a bunch of plastic pens away. And it's something that I'm really getting into, particularly with the ballpoint pens that I use, is really thinking sustainably, and this is a really good option for me. Now, they do retail when you can find them for anywhere from $100 to $300 for the pen, and I think that's an okay price if you're willing to pay it and if you can find it, particularly towards the lower end. But it is an example of just one refillable ballpoint pen. There are so many on the market, but it's one of the things I really like. Let's talk some size of it now. At its closed size, it's 121 millimeters, so it's pretty small. But when you open it up, it's 146, which makes it a really comfortable size. And it's only 34 grams, so it's not super, super heavy, unlike a lot of metal pens. I have it alongside the Kaweco Sport fountain pen, same sort of size as the ballpoint version of it as well. And the Mazzuoli there, and then the Fisher Space bullet pen, which you can see is a lot smaller. The issue I have with the Fisher Space pen is that it never feels like a full-size kind of pen. It always feels like a small pen. And if we actually see them in their writing sizes, you can see that the Fisher Space pen is not terribly much shorter than the Mazzuoli, but the Mazzuoli has that girth and that size, which makes it in my hand, a lot more comfortable. And if you can get a good refill, of course, the writing experience is much more comfortable as well. I'm not going to do a writing sample with it today because the refill is just a Faber-Castell ballpoint refill. You know, it's that sort of typical Parker style refill there with Faber-Castell written on it. And it's good. I really like how it writes. It's not super wet or like oily. It doesn't, you know, you don't get like globs of ink on the page. It's reliable and it's consistent. It's good. So what are the pros and cons of something like this? Well, in this particular pen's case, I think one of the cons is that it's so hard to find now, and when you do, they are a bit expensive. And the other thing that I don't necessarily love about it is that once you get the thread, the cap off its being torqued down, it's actually super easy to undo, which is both a pro and a con because you're not having to work too hard. But I think like it actually becomes a little too loose, too easy. The pros for me with this pen and why I really liked it was the size and the weight. As I've said, it's a nice weight in the hand and it's a good size. You know, it's a comfortable writing pen, and if you're going to use a ballpoint pen, you want to use a pen that you enjoy. The other thing I love is the refill and the fact that you can put anything Parker equivalent in it, and that makes it super versatile, and you can personalize that. And so if you are in the market for a refillable ballpoint pen, this is what I use. Find what you like, find what you enjoy, find what takes a refill you enjoy. Maybe if you've used a pen that you know you like, you go, oh, what refill did that take? And then find a pen that takes that refill. As I said, I was gifted a bundle of things, and a couple of these were in there, and I sort of went, oh yeah, okay. And then I put a refill I enjoyed in it, and I've used it so much. So find things that work for you, find whatever they may be. And I think that's a lesson from this video is, if you like writing only with fountain pens, only write with fountain pens. If you enjoy using only ballpoint pens, just use ballpoint pens. Find what works for you. If you like both, use both. But whatever you do, use what you love and find something that works for you. As I said, I put a refill in this pen that I knew I liked, and the pen made so much sense and became a very useful pen for me when I was traveling. You know, not every situation is best suited to a fountain pen. You're not always writing on fountain pen friendly paper. You know, you have to fill out a census form, or you have to, you know, sign things at a hotel, or whatever the case may be. What's the chances that it's going to be Tomo River or Clairefontaine paper? So use what you enjoy, use what works best for you, and let's just write more by hand. Write more by hand. I love it. So thank you for watching. I hope you found this video interesting and useful. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notifications button if you want to stay up to date with the videos that I produce. Please feel free to get in touch using any of the platforms listed below. You can find me on Instagram or Twitter at @the_offstage_me, or you can contact me on any of my videos here, or drop me an email, which is listed down below. If you've got products you think I should be looking at, or if there's a way you'd like to support the channel, and I thank the viewer who sent me a bundle of things, including these. It's your support that makes this channel possible. In the meantime, enjoy your pens, whatever they may be. Enjoy writing, and I'll talk to you soon.